the launch of the Standard Operating Procedures, SOPs, for all government agencies operating at Nigerian ports, as well as the launch of the Port Service Support Portal, PSSP. It is indeed heartwarming to learn of these laudable initiatives undertaken by the Ministry of Transportation in conjunction with the Nigerian Shippers Council, the Technical Unit on Governance and Anti-Corruption Reforms, TUGAR, and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, the ICPC. The delivery of this project is clearly a major achievement in enhancing improved predictability and transparency of the system. Furthermore, the PSSP will serve as a well-defined mechanism for the handling of internal and external complaints for both operational and integrity issues. The Project Steering Committee comprises all government agencies at the ports and the Federal Ministry of Finance. This is in tandem with this administration's emphasis on strong coordination and cooperation amongst government ministries, departments, and agencies. Let me commend the Federal Ministry of Transportation and the exemplary leadership of the Right Honorable Rotimi Amechi, the Honorable Minister of Transportation, for undertaking this audacious task of issuing the Standard Operating Procedures and launching the Port Service Support Portal. I must also recognize the efforts of the Nigerian Shippers Council, who, as the economic regulator of the ports, took on the task of harmonizing the Standard Operating Procedures. I particularly appreciate the support of the Technical Unit on Governance and Anti-Corruption Reforms, TUGAR, and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, whose support has significantly contributed to actualizing today's launch. In addition, I thank our international partners, the UNDP, for their technical support, which was given consistently throughout this project. Indeed, I'm told that the process that culminated in today's launch is a journey that began since 2011, and by shared determination and persistence, you have all attained this important milestone. The SOPs and PSSP would not only streamline processes for port operations, but also serve as an important testament of the need to continue to cooperate and remain committed to our collective efforts to drive inclusive economic growth and development in Nigeria. The benefits of the entire initiative are glaring, ranging from a more efficient port administration to the incidental effect of making it much easier to do business in Nigeria. A key component of this administration's change agenda is the development of a diversified non-oil sector economy. To achieve this target, the ports must play their role in making it easier to trade across borders, as well as drive Nigeria's trade policy. Better port procedures have direct impact on the business environment for Nigerian and foreign businesses and could in turn enhance our economic development. An enhanced port administration would significantly make it easier for Nigerian businesses to import components needed for industrialization and export their goods to other countries easily. The administration has a cardinal focus of making it progressively easier to do business and to develop policies that reflect that government is a partner and not an adverse regulator or a competitor to business. His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari recently approved the formation of a Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, charged with the duty of reforming Nigeria's business climate. I have the privilege of chairing that council. This project derives from a conviction that an easier business environment leads to increased activities of small and medium enterprises, and inversely shared prosperity and industrial capacity. The productivity and competitiveness focus of our administration can only be accomplished when government policies are transparent, predictable, and friendly to business. This administration is therefore irrevocably committed to achieving a legacy of shared prosperity and inclusive development. And I believe very strongly that the SOPs and the PSPs will further government's efforts in this regard. Many countries of the world have proven that without depending on any natural resources, but simply relying on efficient procedures for undertaking port activities, that a nation can position itself as a major export hub and can earn significant resources by just being more efficient. The reality is that while oil accounts for about 14.4% of our national economy, it continues to be the source of 90% of official foreign exchange earnings, and prior to this year, up to 76% of government revenues. Having an easy source of revenues has denied Nigeria the opportunity to engage in the critical thinking and prioritization that usually drives development in order to move forward. We must reduce the current dependence of the federal and state governments on the ritual sharing of revenues earned from oil. Doing so requires a broader revenue generation effort and diversification of our economic structures in terms of the drivers of economic activity and sources of foreign exchange. The SOPs and PSPs have set us on a path, one of enhancing our port capacity, ensuring free flow of import and export, reducing corruption in port procedures, and adopting global best practice. This is, however, merely the first step. Everyone, public and private stakeholders, must invest their commitment in the successful implementation of the SOPs and PSSPs by following the procedure, not engaging in corrupt practices and putting an extra effort to ensuring that their objectives are accomplished. We must understand and accept that nation building is a collective responsibility, and that the private sector has an important role to play in supporting every effort of government in order to achieve the objective of building a strong nation. The Ministry of Transportation has made a move forward through the SOPs and PSSP. It's time for the private sector users of the ports to also play their role of testing the system, helping to improve its efficiency by cooperating, or most importantly, not circumventing the rules. Ladies and gentlemen, let me restate that the present administration will continue to encourage a competitive business environment, ultimately characterized by sufficient and efficient policies to support sustained economic growth, to further retain and attract much-needed investment in Nigeria. It's important to bear in mind that technology remains one of the most important ways by which we can control corruption, aside from the consequences of ensuring that corrupt acts are made to face consequence. The use of technology for us is possibly the most important way of ensuring that public service delivery is delivered from individual discretion. When you look at all the current government efforts at introducing technology to public service delivery, you will discover that each and every one of them has made a tremendous success. Whether it is our insistence on IPIS, which has cleaned up the payroll and continues to do so, or the TSA, which is also electronically driven, all of them have rendered tremendous profit to the federal government and to the state governments that have endeavored to do the same. We believe that a technology-driven public service delivery is the way forward. And this is one of the reasons why we think that the PSOs and PSSPs will make a significant contribution and will continue to do so with increasing use of technology to drive them. I once again congratulate Honorable Rotimi Amici and the Federal Ministry of Transportation and all of the agencies that are concerned with the drawing up of this new regime and all the stakeholders in this project. I'm honored to now proceed to launch the Standard Operating Procedures, SOPs, and the Port Service Support Portal, PSSP, to the glory of God and the benefit of Nigeria and humanity. Thank you.